Hey guys, Squirrel here. Welcome to another episode of Trucking Diaries. Can you hear the wind? Listen to that. I've added a new mod, it's a sound mod. And it gives you some nice little environmental sounds. Which I think is awesome. There's lots of little things going on. As when you pull into the fuel station, you get this, the sound of the guy getting out of the truck. And then when he fills up, you can hear the ding, ding, like the old-fashioned, you know, fuel station bell. It's lovely. There's lots of little things that you'll hear. But I like that. It doesn't look that windy, but it kind of adds to the effect. Anyway, let's have a quick recap. We are in San Diego, if I remember. Yep, right down the bottom of the map. This is the most southerly point in the current map in American Truck Sim, right here. San Diego. We brought a Walmart trailer to a Walmart store. Lol. And we are level 8. We had a failed attempt at buying a W900, if you remember. Because it wouldn't let me buy it because I was already on a job, which sucked. I've got a massive amount of loans. Like a huge amount of loans here. In fact, if you add that up, it comes to about 7.5 grand a day. Look, 7,600 a day I've got to find. And the problem with it is that if we look at the company manager, obviously we got 2 brand new trucks and we've hired a couple of drivers. But until they level up, they're going to be pulling in not much money. Which creates a problem because at 8,000 plus their 1,000, that's 9,000 a day. That gives me a 1,500 profit per day. Now, if I get like 1 ticket or even 2 tickets with the fuel on top and servicing, I'm going to be out of pocket. So we're kind of scratching around for cash right now until these guys can up their game a bit, which I really hope they will. But let's have a look in the job market and see what we can find. We need to find something for some decent money that's not too far away, ideally. So I think I'm going to go for the sort of medium jobs, like 500 miles, not like that. Good grief. That is the longest job on the map, I think. 828 miles for 19 grand. The problem with that is I have to wait like at least 2 days before I even get paid for it. Tyres over to Oxnard paying 6 grand. Is there nothing around the 10 grand mark? LA for 2.5. Expires in 43 minutes. I don't even think I could get over to that one. 43 minutes. Yeah, I doubt I'd get to that, to be honest. The advantage that one has, it takes us to LA, where I could Partex for a W900, but considering the cash flow situation right now, that may not be the best idea. What have we got coming out of Carlsbad? Not a lot. Right, okay. In that case, let's take tyres to Oxnard. No, I tell you what, let's try and get that one. Let's try and get that one. I don't think we'll make it, but we'll give it a go. Let's get inside. Get ourselves comfy. 4,000 miles, huh? Daylight runners are on. It really depends how far it is to this pickup point. Ouch! Really? Do you know what? There's one thing about speed bumps. I've noticed this a lot on shopping centres. The speed bumps are super aggressive. You know, you get those kind of, like, what they call, well, in the UK they call them sleeping policemen, and they're kind of like long, tarmacked bumps. You know, they're not super aggressive, they're quite gentle, but if you start going at them anything above the speed limit, then you're not going to have a fun time. But on these shopping centres, they're like a thin strip. They're really super aggressive, and if you don't drive over them slowly, it bottoms out the suspension. I mean, I kind of get that they do it to stop the, like, joyriders, because on the car parks on these shopping centres, you'll often get these joyriders turn up, particularly at night. And, you know, the kids with the cars, they'll turn up and there'll be handbrake turning on the car park and all the rest of it, and doing donuts. I get that, but there's a balance, right? There's a balance between slowing people down and ruining their suspension. I digress. Didn't we just come from here? 42 Prince. I'm sure we did. Come on, move. Oh, brakes. I need to make these lights. Can you please move forward? Please, just a bit. Oh man, look at that. See, if he'd have moved forward, we could have got 2 cars there, and then I would have been able to go when the lights went green. I'm going to be aggressive here. When the lights go green, I'm going to be really bolshy and just pull out and hope that they back off, because I want to get to this pickup point quickly. Northland. That's a really strange thing to put in San Diego, considering how far south we are. Maybe it's irony. 42 print, yeah, this is where we were, 42 print. Yeah, just resting up out there, yeah? Off duty. Right, have we got it? Yeah, 3 minutes expire, look at that! Wow! Any more time and I'd have missed that, that's insane. We only just got... Look at this, the beer trailers. How did 42 Print manage to produce such quality beer? How do they print their beer? They've got like a 3D printer now. And they just print beer. That would be quite an impressive trick. Miller Lite. Alrighty then. Let's hit the road. Now, this is going to leave us in LA, right? And LA is where Kenworth is. And it'll be the middle of the day, but it will be a Sunday, which means it could well be closed on a Sunday. I'm not sure if the game has them open 7 days or not. It possibly only opens 6 days. Because if they're open, I'm thinking about going and having a little sniff over there, just to see. Just to see, after I finish the job, obviously, but just to see how much money it would cost. But it kind of depends how well my drivers perform. I had a feeling that guy was going to stop again, you know. I just had this awful feeling that he was going to hit the brakes and I was going to go on the back of him. I was trying to read some of those signs. They're so small. Like, what is the point of that? If that's meant to advertise what shops are available, you can't read it when you're driving past. It's kind of pointless. I tell you what, I'm waiting for somebody to reskin these, you know, it says Chinese takeout and stuff. I'm waiting for somebody to produce a map mod that reskins a bunch of stuff and makes all these companies real companies. Because that'll be funny. Oh god. Oh! Wow. I was actually over the line then. I should have got a ticket, to be fair. Either the game was being nice, or maybe you have to put your back wheel over now. I'm sure it used to be... I remember getting a ticket. I pulled up at some lights, and it had a solid white line, and then the pedestrian walkway, and then another solid white line. And I went over the first line with my front tyres, and I got a ticket. And that wasn't long ago. It is possible they've tuned it to make it different. Oh man. I am running the gauntlet here. So maybe you have to put front and back over to get a ticket now. Actually, I wonder what the law is on that. Is it front tyres over the line you can get a ticket? I wonder what the law says, and I wonder what the cops actually do. Like if the cops are a bit more lenient. Now the thing is about these shorter journeys is you've got a lot less tolerance in terms of how late you can be. So I need to make sure I get close to that speed limit. Wow, that sun. There we go. It's another beautiful day in California. Do you know, they must... I don't know, in California, do they actually like it when it rains? When it rains, they're like, oh yeah, we've not seen you for a while. Whereas up in Seattle, they're probably the opposite. In Seattle, they're probably going, wow, the sun! We've not seen that in a few days. It's amazing because they're both on the west coast of the States, but they have such very different... That's the thing about the States, isn't it? Because it's so big, so vast, that it's an entire continent. There are so many different climates within the continent. You know, west coast, east coast, north, south, all very different. Right in the middle, different again. You get more extremes of things. And California is more of a sunny extreme, I guess. Although it doesn't tend to get, like, massively hot. Like, in the middle of the country, it can get insanely hot, like in Texas, can't it? But, on the west coast, because obviously you've got the sea breeze coming in, and the surf, man, you've got the kind of cooling effect that you get from the sea, which is the same thing that happens in the UK. You get, you know, a heating and cooling effect from the water. Which is why the UK is a bit more temperate, because it's smaller in the middle of water. Actually, if you want to go down to the Canary Islands, like off the northwest coast of Africa, you've got the Canary Islands, you've got Tenerife, Lanzarote, that kind of thing. Is it Lanzarote? I think. Tenerife, Fuerteventura. Is it Lanzarote and another one? I think. I hope I've got that right. Oh god. Loan payment hype! No! Don't take my money! But yeah, those islands, if you look at the... Have a quick Google, and have a look at the temperature climate of the Canary Islands. It's crazy. They've got one of the most stable climates in the world. And that's because they're very small islands, not that far from the equator, so you get the heating effect. You don't get a massive variation between summer and winter from the sun. But because they're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, they get a heating and cooling effect from the water. And the net effect of all that is that in winter it won't really get below 12 degrees average. And in summer it won't get above about 32 average. Celsius, by the way. I don't do Fahrenheit. So the temperature range is really stable. You know, if you consider this as a planet spinning around a sun, it's pretty amazing that you can have a place on Earth that has such a stable temperature range, like within 20 Celsius. That's amazing when you think about it. But that's the way it is. That's the Canaries for you. If you like temperate climate, you're not going to do much better. Southern Boulevard, LA. It said stop, but I could clearly see there was nothing on the bridge. So I took artistic license. Charged. Actually, is this where we go past the Kenny dealer? There you are! Hello! Do you open Sundays? What day is it? Is it actually Sunday today? Yeah, expected Sunday 1:05 PM. Yes, it is Sunday. It kind of looked open, there were cars outside, but that could have just been people walking around, like licking the windows of the trucks, going, I want you one day, you'll be mine. I actually think that SCS, did you see those workers on the right then? I say workers, I use that term loosely, because they're all stood around with their arms crossed, looking at each other, amidst a load of sewer pipes. And I actually think that SCS has got a sense of humour. Because pretty much every worker is standing around. Like, you never see them doing anything. They just have their arms crossed, leaning on things, just looking around. The one guy that I see doing anything approaching work is the one guy who's trying to pull something off a piece of equipment. That's it. Everybody else is watching. I suppose you get the occasional digger. But that's about it. And the crane that's moving. Oh my god, stop. Great taste, less filling. Miller Lite. Less filling than what, exactly? Oh, look at that. A non-Arctic truck. Distributing Transportation Co-op. Oh, these pesky red lights, please change. I'm going to slow down and cruise and hope that they change. Yes! Beautiful. Surf and skate. What, at the same time? I'd imagine that's quite tricky. Imagine that. Imagine being on a surfboard in the Pacific and skating on top of it. That is a skill. I struggle with either. I mean, I've tried surfing. Not many times, to be fair. Once, I think. And that was off the coast of Cornwall. And the water was pretty cold, even with a wetsuit. But I tell you what, it's tiring. My life, is it tiring. You have to swim out against the tide, against the waves coming in, just to stand on a board where the waves will carry you back in. But actually what happens, because you're new and you suck at it, is you swim out, tire yourself out, get on your board. You're then so tired that when you stand on the board, you don't know how to balance properly, and you're tired, and a wave comes in, and instead of carrying you, it just knocks you off. So you spend all of your time in the water, clinging to your board, thinking, why am I doing this? What was it that attracted me to this? And as for skating, I can do, what do they call it? Rollerblades, yeah? Rollerblades I find... Come on, bro. What are you doing? Well, thanks for that. Thanks for killing all my momentum. Rollerblades I can do. Roller skates, nope. I don't know what it... I think... I was about to say I don't know what it is about roller skates, but I think what it is, you know, they've got like 4 wheels underneath. And it forces your... I need to be in that lane, really. It forces your foot to go in one direction. Whereas a blade, you can kind of... You know, make it turn and lean it easier. I'm not explaining it very well, but I just find roller skates to be very difficult. And they make my feet go off in directions that I don't want them to. Whereas rollerblades, I kind of feel like I can control it better. I'm not brilliant at it, but I can skate around a little bit. But yeah, as for doing that on top of a surfboard, good luck with that. Right, time of day check is 1:41 PM. We'll drop this off. We'll go and have a look at the Kenny dealer, which is back down the road there. Check the finance situation as well. I'm not sure how much a Kenny would cost to upgrade. I'm desperately looking forward to getting the Kenny though, because it's a beautiful truck and my skin looks nice on it, and I've got an engine mod which makes it sound pretty cool. So I'd really like to get that. But finances will be the dictator, I'm afraid. A lot of it depends on how well our drivers are performing. FedEx. The perfect place to put some Miller Lite. I think we're just bringing the beers for the distribution centre, boys, to be honest. I think that's what's happening here. Straighten her up. Kind of overturned it a little bit, but we're okay. Straighten her at the end there. Come on, ding for me! There we go. It's reasonably straight, I think. They're happy with that. Less filling. Company collector 11 and 15. That means I've done another... There must be 15 companies in the game, and I've delivered for 11 of them now. Enthusiast, right, that's another couple of $half grand in the bank. Let's just see if they brought any money in. Driver manager... No, not yet. What are they up to? To be fair, right, considering I've only just hired them, they're actually putting in decent money, which is surprising, because normally when you get a driver... you get these negative trips where they've not been able to find a job, in quotes. Such and such a body was unable to find work, and they just travel back. Because the way the AI works, annoyingly, is if you base them in, say, LA, or Vegas, or wherever they happen to be, they take a job out of Vegas, because that's their home city. And then, wherever they arrive, they try to get a job back to Vegas. And if they can't get one back to Vegas, they simply drive back to Vegas, which costs you money. And I could kind of understand that. I can kind of understand that with a day cab, although not really, because they could always stay in a motel. So if I saw You know, if they make a return journey and they don't have any cargo with them, it'll say, oh, that cost you $300. And you're sitting there thinking, what? And like, yeah, fuel bills and all that, and salary. Okay. If the guy just went, you know what, boss, I stayed in a motel overnight, and that cost $50, and then the next day I took another job back to Vegas, and that paid $500. And I'd be saying, yeah, that works for me, as long as you're happy with that. And then if I was to buy him a sleeper cab, I'd expect him to kip in it and then come back. But, I don't know. There's just no detail. None of this seems to happen, but there's no detail in the game, in quote, manual or blog or whatever you want to call it. Wowzers. There's none of that. We have no information about how the AI drivers actually work. Like how we can make them perform better. So it's all a bit like shooting fish in a barrel. We just don't know how to make them perform so they don't come back with negative money. Hey kids! Hey, he's got a cap on like me, look at that. It's that kid. It's amazing. I reckon that was actually a squirrel fan on that bus. So yeah, it's slightly annoying, and I wish we could, I wish we knew what to do to fix it. What time is it? 2 PM. Right, now my guess is it's going to be 2 PM is fine, but Sunday they'll be closed. I reckon they'll be like Monday to Saturday, 9 till 6 or something. So I think we'll be out of luck. In which case, fate has dealt us its hand and said, Squirrel, you will not have a Kenworth just yet. I'll just roll with the punches. I could sleep overnight. You know, an obvious thing is, well, why don't you just sleep overnight and then it'll be open tomorrow on Monday? And the problem with that is, when you're sleeping, you're not earning, so you only sleep when you have to. And I don't need to sleep for 3 hours. And every day, the bank takes money from me. So if I sleep around a lot, so to speak, if I keep sleeping, then my net income per day is going to go down. Because I'm not earning. And since I'm the big earner, the big cheese, in this little outfit, I have to keep working. Because the other guys are just not performing yet. Yo! Nice! Is that a, is that a pesticide tanker or something? I've hauled that before. It's an interesting design how they're kinked in the middle so that it drains into the middle point. I don't know why all tankers are not like that. I do wonder if there's a reason why some tankers are just straight pipe and some of them are kinked. Is there a reason why they're not all kinked? Because it just seems to be a better design. I have stopped at every single red light down here. I don't know if they do it in the States, but in the UK, what they'll often do is connect these lighting systems together. In fact, I've seen it in the States. I have seen this, where they'll all go green, and they'll allow traffic to move better, and then they all go to red. Like, oh no, they're not timed like that. The time so that if the first one changes green, and then a car sets out at like 25 to 30 miles per hour, by the time it reaches the next set of lights, they will then go green. And so you get this kind of ripple effect. And the end effect is that the car will not stop. It'll just keep going at 30 miles per hour right through the lights. And it keeps traffic flowing. But here, every single light has hit me on red. And I've been going the speed limit. There you go. Case in point. Look at that. Case in point. Nobody does any work. Right, Mr. Kenny. And the other thing, given the time of day, if I actually do sleep, it's going to be midnight by the time I wake up. So I'd actually have to sleep twice, which is just not something I'm going to do. Gatorade. Right, let's see if you're open. The truck dealer's closed Monday to Saturday, 8 till 6. Kenworth, I'm getting the feeling you actually don't want me to buy your trucks, okay? That's the feeling I'm getting here. You're always closed for me. You can never do business. How annoying. I might run on them. While they're not here, I'm going to look at this. Oh no, Kenworth. I'm sorry. I accidentally ran on your grass. I apologise. Now open up next time, okay? Which means I'm going to have to take a job instead. That's what it means. I had hoped to buy a truck today, but not today. We're going to have to take a job out of Kenworth. So I'm going to leave that for the next video because I'm going to get a slightly longer job next time, and if I put both jobs in one video, it'll be a massive video. Kenny's going to have to wait. Next time we're near a Kenny dealer, maybe by the time we're level 10 or something, we'll grab a Kenny. But that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed that episode. Until next time, take care. Happy trucking.